Hello everybody, welcome back to OneRoomOver Gaming. Today I am continuing my awesome Let's Play of Crimson Gray, and last time I played this, There's a hair on my mic. Never mind it. Last time I played this, Lizzie drugged me and trapped me in her basement. And then she started talking to me, and I had to say something, but I didn't really know what to say, so I stopped. So let's see what I have to say to this whole situation. Before I got to know you, I thought this would be the easy part. I thought I understood how people worked. Some things never made sense to me, but others are so simple. Lizzie walked up to one of the walls and began running her fingers over the tools there. They're not tools. That's a nice word for them. They're not tools, they're knives. She picked up a knife and caressed the edge, partially turned away from him. Oh, ooh, there's a little shink sound. I thought that once I found you, I could make you mine, and then I would feel whole. But you see, I underestimated just how much you would change me. I'm so much happier, and everything is so much more complicated. Well, if you're happy, then don't hurt me, just be happy. Don't go backwards, let's just go forwards from Happy Town. She walked toward him wearing a soft, loving expression, but still holding the knife. John froze and held his breath as she walked behind him. I'm uncomfortable. I want all of you, John, even the parts I didn't know existed before. If I hurt you, I would never really have what I want. Okay, good. The knife slid past his face, but only as Lizzie moved to embrace him. She wrapped her arms around his neck and pressed herself against his back, inhaling deeply. I love you so much. I wouldn't be satisfied with just a shell of you. So what, are you going to keep me down here forever? Oh, God. That morning she pulled back. The adoration in her expression was gone, replaced with an empty gaze fixated on him. But that makes this so much harder. No, it makes it easier. Don't do the thing. Don't do that thing. Just let me go. We're not going to be friends after this. I'm not going to be friends with her anymore. If I get out of this, I'm not. I promise. You can mark my words right now. There is no way that if I end this and I'm somehow in an okay place, just write me off, because I'm telling you right now, I won't. There's nothing. I won't do it. What are you gonna do to me? I don't know. I wish I knew. It took time to think, but it didn't help. Oh, good, a choice. Beg for release, reason with her, charm her. I think I've charmed her just about enough, don't you? Oh, lordy. Why with the sirens? Oh boy. I'm not gonna beg. I don't think she can be reasoned with. Let's go for it. Lizzie, weren't we having a good time earlier? Getting closer together? Yes, it was wonderful. We could go on another date. Just let me out. We can keep going the way we were before. But I need more than that. I need to help you. Oh, I'm helped. He didn't want to push too hard, but he thought he could get through to her a little. If he kept appealing to her romantic side, maybe he could get out of this. Lizzie paced around the room for a while, muttering under her breath, then suddenly straightened. Throwing aside the knife, it embedded itself in the wall. She went to a closet and after a few seconds of searching, emerged with a chain. I'll take chain versus knife. Oh, yes, this will be better. I'm sorry, John. I should have thought of this earlier. She clamped one end around his ankle, then lifted a table at one end of the room and latched the other side of the chain there. Plucking the knife back out of the wall, Lizzie cut through John's bonds with troubling speed, smiling all the while. See, you don't have to be tied up. Here, use this table. I'll bring you whatever you need. I guess I'm sleeping on a table for now. Lizzie swept all the objects from the table like they were so much trash, then frowned down at the empty space. But you didn't bring your books because of the date. Is there anything you want me to bring for you? Freedom! He stared at her, still not entirely sure how to deal with this change. Licking his lips, John spoke before he could fully think through his words. Can I have some water? Ah, of course, yes, water. And you slept a long time. You'll probably be hungry soon. Just wait here. While she was gone, he did his best just to rub some feeling back into his wrists and look around the room. Well, this is a pretty empty room. I don't think we're going to be doing much with it. The chain attaching him to the table leg was fairly long. He thought he could reach most of the basement except the far end and the door at the top of the stairs. Not that he could try anything when she was nearby and can return at any moment. He did try to lift the table, though, see if he could slip the chain out from under the leg, and couldn't even budge it. What the hell? Was there some trick to it, or was she just that strong? John had thought it might be his imagination, or was she just fueled by passion? But to move the table as easily as she had, that shouldn't have been possible. Oh, so she's the Hulk. Okay. That's all it is. Oh, she's back. There wasn't time for anything else before Lizzie returned, bearing kitchen supplies. Just wait a moment, I'll make you something, and we can be together while I make it. Isn't that wonderful? Not waiting for an answer, she laid out her ingredients on one side of the table, then set up a chopping board. She began reducing vegetables to little chunks with terrifying ease. Knife a silver blur in her hands. I know just what I want to cook today, but you can ask for whatever you want later, okay? I'll make you anything you like. Okay, thank you. This is all I want, John. A peaceful life at home. Oh, it's peaceful for you, but not for me. You can stay inside, ignore everyone who wants to hurt you. I'll keep you safe, bring you whatever you need. Take good care of you. No. And never go outside? Of course, you could go outside if you wanted to, but right now, I'm just afraid. Her movements became more erratic, and John saw several chips of wood fly away from the cutting board. Lizzie was still smiling sweetly. Don't you want that too? To be able to just stay inside on bad days and ignore the world? Well, yeah, but not like this. That did sound good to him, but when he shifted his legs, he heard the chain clinking along the floor, and whatever he had been meaning to say evaporated out of his mind. As absurd as it was, the day continued almost normally. Lizzie made him an elaborate meal, and they ended up chatting over it as if everything was normal. But it felt wrong to do so, but he worried that doing anything else would just antagonize her. Did she really think this would work in the end? I bet she did. I bet she does. Honestly, he had no idea. And did she really need to do so much cutting for every single dish? When they had finished and chatted for a while, Lizzie abruptly hopped back to her feet. Okay, just a moment, John. I'm going to get you your books, okay? I don't want you to be angry with me for making you fall behind on your homework. Is there anything else you want me to get from your house? Well, just let me know if you need anything, alright? Well, she's certainly pleasant and accommodating, to a point. She skipped away, and he heard the door above him close. He wondered if it could be a trick somehow, but after enough silence passed, he felt reasonably certain that she had actually gone to his house. Though she could have taken his key, he saw it still resting on the far table with the other things he'd been carrying. Had she made a copy at some point, or could she just pick the lock? Neither possibility was exactly comforting, but he didn't have time for that. John got to his feet, stretched, and considered his options. Try to remove chain, look for weapons, look for tools, make something for Lizzie, don't try anything. I feel like don't is the absolute worst thing that you could do. Oh boy. I'm not making anything for Lizzie either. I'm done. I'm barely just trying to keep this thing going so I don't die anymore. I'm basically just trying to get my freedom, and once I have that, that's enough. That's all. I just need to be done with this. Okay. I feel like weapons is a bad idea, because I'm chained up, and I don't know what I could do to remove the chain, so I guess I'm gonna go for tools. His table had been placed to be out of reach of the weapons lining one wall, but that put him close to the other wall. John managed to get around the table to it and began examining them. There was a metal cupboard that appeared to be locked, but he looked through the rest. There was a toolbox that he thought was locked at first, but eventually he realized it was only stuck. After enough effort, he got it open and looked through it. Most of it was random aging tools, but he found a screwdriver that looked to be in good shape. Could he use this to escape? He saw several possibilities, but at that moment, he heard Lizzie return. It was too late. Damn it! Though John spent all of Saturday tense, Lizzie showed no signs of intending to hurt him. That night, she brought a mattress and bedding down to the basement and set it up close enough that he could lie down on it. Aw, I'm a pet! I'm a well-kept pet now. Woohoo! When he woke up on Sunday, he felt strangely normal. Still tense, the situation was far from ordinary, but in a strange way, he had learned to deal with it. Humans are really adaptable. They can get used to new situations very quick. That day passed almost normally. Since Lizzie had brought him his books, he tried to work through his homework, just like he often did on a Sunday. Lizzie stayed with him most of the day, working as well. She made meals for them both in the basement and upstairs, but she always stayed close. He hoped for a chance to evaluate his options more, but never spotted one since she was always leaning in to smile at him from the stairwell. Well, she's gotta sleep, doesn't she? Just you don't go to sleep while she does. The only useful thing he learned was that the basement door was apparently unlocked except at night. If he could somehow get unchained from the table, he had a shot at getting out. Alright. When Monday dawned, he crashed almost immediately and didn't even get out of bed. That was common for vacations when he didn't have friends to distract him, since all he could do was wallow in himself. It felt worse than usual. His world wasn't just gray. His depression was filled with flecks of anger and confusion. Only then did he realize that he hadn't taken any medication since Friday morning. Oh, that's a whole new element to this. When Lizzie entered that morning, she immediately saw how badly he was doing and rushed to the mattress, at first fussing with his sheets before realizing the problem went deeper than that. Shahan, what's wrong? Other than you keeping me here? No, I'm sorry, no. If I let you go, you'll just hate me. It will ruin everything. Oh God, I'm just so tempted to say that right now, if I could. Then at least bring me my Paxitine. It's in the shelf above the sink to the... No. No, I won't bring it to you. I can't. I destroyed it. I'm not down for it, man. What? But I need that. Do you understand how serious my condition is, right? I know, I really do, but you shouldn't take their drugs, not theirs. But you were taking something else before Paxitine, right? Tell me what it was. I'll go get some for you. And you'll just hop over to the pharmacy and tell the pharmacist what you need, and she'll just hand it over. Or he'll just hand it over, because that's how pharmacies work. I want you to get better, John, but I won't let you take anything from Koitek. Because you have a vendetta against them. I get it. Alright, well, I just need to go. Thinking back, John tried to remember the medications that had seemed to do some good. Maybe they weren't as good as Paxitine, but they would be better than nothing. Okay, just wait right here. Apparently just remembering all the chemical names he'd listed, Lizzie hopped up the stairs and practically slammed the door in her hurry on the way out. Abruptly alone, John realized that he had another chance to act. Try to remove the chains without tools. Look for weapons, look for tools, Well, I did look for tools. I have whatever. This game is not playing fair. I don't want to waste my opportunity again. I found a screwdriver and... Okay, I need to get out of here. John bent down and tried to find a weak point on the chain. The links themselves looked tough, but he clawed at the bolts holding the shackles around his leg and the table. Soon he realized that he was only going to hurt his fingers. Instead, he tried to see if he could slip his foot out of the shackle. Once he took off his shoes and socks, though, he realized just how difficult that would be. Maybe if he could somehow dislocate something in his foot. But no, that wasn't the kind of thing a normal person could just do. Oh, are we just gonna stay locked up because a normal person wouldn't hurt themselves to get free? Because I think that's exactly what a normal person would do. If we all remember back to Saw 2, frickin' Donnie Wahlberg broke his ankle with a toilet tank cover. I think in that situation, like, it's okay to I'm not, like, implying self-mutilation. I'm just saying, like, get free. That's all I'm saying. Let's not stress about what's normal in an abnormal situation. He didn't want to give up, though, so he kept trying. But in a surprisingly short amount of time, he heard the door on the floor above open. John scrambled to get his shoes and socks back on and pretend to be doing nothing out of the ordinary when Lizzie returned. Eventually, Lizzie returned, bearing a large white sack. She triumphantly emptied it out on the table, dumping an entire pile of pills in front of him. She'd gotten every drug he'd mentioned, even the prescription ones. He hated to think about the nasty consequences if she tried to give him all of these at once. Well, I guess just pick your favorite and go with that one. But instead, Lizzie just brought him a glass of water and set it down beside the pile. Take anything you need to get better, okay? I'll just leave these here, but you can ask for more water whenever you want. Thank you. Of course, John, I'm doing all this because I want you to get better. He felt like telling her that being held against his will wouldn't help, but her expression looked so sincere that he couldn't bring himself to say it. How had she gotten prescription medications anyway? He found the one that he had been the most satisfied with just before Miss Smythe switched him to Paxitine and took his first dose. Lizzie smiled brightly, then skipped back up the stairs. After lunch on Tuesday, Lizzie started carrying electronics down the stairs. He blinked in confusion until she brought down the TV and started hooking everything together. Or at least attempting to. After a moment, she sighed and looked at him sheepishly. Do you know how this works? I can try to get it figured out. He got up and did his best to help. She had a pretty nice VCR, leading him to wonder why she had it and didn't know how to put it together. It was like someone else would have bought it for her. Do you not use this much? Never. I don't really watch television. Like, at all? No. She had seemed weirdly apathetic about a lot of things, but he thought she just wasn't into pop culture. Yet now, something in her voice made him suspect it was something else entirely. What about music, then? I don't listen to music. Huh, well, what about books? Only nonfiction. That seems useful. The rest all feels so pointless. What do you do for fun, then? Kidnap people. She stared back at him so long he was afraid she might just ignore the question. Well, sorry I asked. I do enjoy a few things now, thanks to you. I spent a lot of time collecting all those knives because I thought they would be useful, but now it's a little different. Now I can imagine myself protecting you. All the details about grips, edges, they're not just details now, they interest me. So he'd given her an interest in knives. Fantastic. A+. Good job, John. Alright. Anyway, I thought maybe I could enjoy a movie if I watched it with you. Is that okay? We might as well try. I've had it all put together for a while anyway. We can try it. Lizzie brought a chair and sat beside him as they watched the tape. He was grateful that she'd at least watched the movie instead of him. It was nothing at all like how watching a film with a girl was supposed to be. According to his friends, Lizzie didn't seem remotely nervous during the scary parts, and to his surprise didn't seem to care about the romantic parts. Then again, he didn't think he would really want her to react that way. It definitely wouldn't feel like who she was. To his surprise, John found himself enjoying it too. Maybe his old meds were doing their job better than he'd thought. When it finally ended, Lizzie gave a small smile that he thought represented authentic satisfaction. Then she immediately turned to him. We should watch something together again, but I think I'd rather make our own movie. His mind immediately flashed to making porn together, and he had to force the thought away. What kind of movie? I would just like to film you, here, working, or eating, or anything. I could watch it later. She's gonna end up making a snuff film. Really? Wouldn't that be boring? No, watching you could never be boring. Okay, so, new plan. We're just gonna let her tape me, and then she's gonna let me go, and she can just keep the tapes, and I can live my life. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, this is such a good idea. I'll go buy one of those video recorders and... Not to cut you off, but wouldn't that be incriminating evidence? Huh? Fuck, what was he saying? Well, too late to go back now. I mean, it's not illegal to hold someone like this, and your basement looks kind of suspicious. Oh, it's not legal. I'm sorry, I read that too fast. You wouldn't want someone to find it later. Oh, you care. Yeah. Lizzie embraced him cheerfully, and despite himself, John felt a flicker of joy. When she was happy, she seemed so purely happy. You're right, of course, and I'm so glad you're thinking about keeping me safe, even if I want it to be the other way around. John is so kind. But maybe later we can make our own movies, okay? Okay? Oh, yeah, maybe. John had considered trying to use the tape as evidence, but quickly realized he didn't want to go there. If Lizzie had tapes of him, he could be certain she would watch them over and over. And if she did that, he had a bad feeling that she would notice his escape attempts. There would be some detail he couldn't hide, and then she would completely stop trusting him. No, for now he needed to focus on getting out. Okay. I'm gonna stop for now, because these days take a long time, and it's been a while. So, yeah. This game is actually pretty long. I'm very surprised. I thought that maybe this would be the last episode, but I guess it's Wednesday, and I get to live another day. So thank you guys so much for coming back to One Room Over Gaming. I will play this again very soon in the future and get another episode out for you so that you guys can see what happens to me and to John and to Lizzie. And until then, you guys always know where you can find me. I'll just be One Room Over. And until next time, you guys take care of yourselves and each other. Happy gaming, and I will see you all very soon. Okay, see ya.